first. Sponsored by Natex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
And welcome. It's Kevin's weather on the road. Look at that sky out there tonight. Wow. We are about to make it to our final destination for Kevin's Weather on the Road. New segment that we're doing here where we're going to a new city, a new town every Friday night. And we are about there. So you need to stick around and tune in and find out where exactly we land. Let's talk about this weather where temperatures are very cold tonight. Boy, did I pick just a great night for this, right? We're talking about readings that are going to be down to the single digits and wind chill values that are down near zero and below in many locations. As we go throughout tonight, the wind chills are going to get worse. Dangerous cold, and we've got snow in the forecast. We're live, we're on the road, about to get to Kevin's Weather on the Road's final destination. Stick around, find out where we're going to be. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now on WCIA 3 News.
Setting up vaccination clinics isn't a problem in one county, but getting enough supplies is. Find out what's changing. Also tonight, it's no secret COVID-19 can have lasting effects on your body. What the long-term effect can be on your lungs.
And one family lost everything to a fire. How their community is now stepping up to help.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
102 counties all saying, okay, send us more.
He's talking about the COVID-19 vaccines. County health districts are struggling to keep up with demand. Good evening. I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. That shortage isn't each county's fault. The state determines the amount that they get. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting live in our newsroom now. So, Courtney, what does the state base that amount on?
Well, Jennifer, it's a combination of factors. One is population. Another is just how much the state has available to give. But some is also performance-based. Vermilion County health leaders explained if a county is giving out a lot of vaccines, then the state will start giving them more in return. That's because the state doesn't want to give a lot of vaccines to a certain county and see those doses sitting in storage without being utilized. Unfortunately, those factors seem to be working against Vermilion County. They just found out they won't be getting a shipment next week.
For the many people who are waiting for their first dose of vaccinations, I understand you're frustrated. This was a sudden change on us. This is not just Vermilion County. This is a much larger problem than that, and one we're hoping to get taken care of very quickly.
The good news is if you scheduled an appointment for one of the upcoming vaccine clinics, you'll still be getting your shot. Public Health Administrator Doug Toole says they won't schedule appointments if they don't have doses available for those appointments. It gets complicated, though. While the state hasn't told Vermilion County when their next shipment for first doses will come, they have been told they'll get a second shipment for people who have gotten their first dose of the vaccine or those who have scheduled their first dose appointments already for those two upcoming clinics. Live in the newsroom, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Courtney, thank you. Toole also says they are confident they do have enough vaccines for their two clinics this month, one on the 18th and on the 25th. They'll be giving out a combined 1,200 doses on those days.
The CU Public Health District is expanding who's eligible to get vaccinated in Group 1B, but not to everyone the state says can get the shot. For Champaign County, the group now includes those between the ages of 40 and 64 with underlying health conditions or disabilities. Earlier this week, the governor expanded Group 1B across the state to be 16 and older with underlying health conditions. That includes cancer, chronic kidney disease, and COPD, among others. Groups 1A and those originally classified in 1B can still get vaccinations. State's positivity rate continues to fall. It's now at 3.7%. As for new cases, nearly 2,600 were reported. 32 more people have died since yesterday. Vaccines continue to roll out across the state with nearly 3% of the population now fully vaccinated. Illinois is averaging just over 59,000 shots a day with more than 1.6 million given overall.
And experts are learning more about the coronavirus every single day, how it can affect people in the long run, even after recovering. A Carl pulmonologist says the medical community is seeing COVID cause long-term effects for some people, particularly in the lungs. The one thing they're seeing is called fibrosis. That means severe scarring in the lungs that normally move gases and oxygen and help you breathe. When that scar tissue develops, those functions won't perform the same.
And when that scar tissue lays down, their longer-term ramifications are they don't have the same lung capacity that they once did. They still are not the same person they were when they went into this.
He says this is mainly seen in people with severe COVID cases who end up being hospitalized with other underlying conditions. But long-term effects have been seen in about 4% of mild cases as well. In other news, the city of Danville is showing appreciation for people keeping us safe during the pandemic. WCIA 3's Jimmy Mays is with us. So what are they doing?
Jennifer, they're putting wraps on some of the buses. These wraps would be along the sides and the back of the bus. The wraps say in part, Danville Mass Transit wants to thank our essential workers. Now, let's help keep them safe. Please wear your mask. It shows firefighters, police officers, and other frontline workers. They're hoping to use essential workers from Danville. The alderman I spoke to said he thinks it's a great way to thank those who risk their own health to protect others.
We've got so many people out in the community that are essential workers that are, let's say, basically being exposed to everyone. I think it's important that we wear our mask when we're out, and that's basically what the message is.
They're hoping this will remind people to keep following the rules given by the health departments. For now, this is just a plan. I wasn't able to get an exact day on when people can start seeing these wraps on the buses.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. Now, Danville Mass Transit says the number of people riding the bus has decreased since February of last year. Part of that is because they had to decrease service during the pandemic. Now they're back to full service and hoping more people will ride.
A man from Champaign and a woman are expected to be okay after a two-car crash near Vandalia last night. Happened on I-70 around 9. State troopers say the man was driving when he hit the back of an Audi that slowed down for an unknown reason. The driver of the Audi was seriously hurt and airlifted to the hospital. Both drivers were ticketed for several reasons. The cause of a house fire in Decatur is under investigation. It happened near the corner of North Lober Street and East Harrison Avenue at around 12:30 this morning. When crews arrived, they were met by flames, sparking, and smoke at the back of the home. That house was vacant and under renovation. Firefighters contained most of the damage to the kitchen, but there was about $5,000 worth of damage.
Another fire has neighbors stepping up to help a family in need. A Guatemalan mother and her young daughter lost their home in a fire. It happened at the Shadowwood Mobile Home Park in Champaign on Monday. The home itself is still standing, but everything inside was destroyed. Immigrant Services of Champaign-Urbana created an emergency fund, and they're asking the community for support.
She's a hard-working person. She works in food service in the kitchen. She's raising her 5-year-old. She's a single mom. And I think that this is a great opportunity for the community to reach out and help her get back on her feet.
Now, you can help the family by making a donation to ISCU with the Memo Fire Fund. We've got all the information on how you can do that. Just go to our website, WCIA.com.
Today is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. How some veterans honored it at his tomb.
And plus, there are many spots across the state dedicated to the former president. We'll tell you where some of them are.